Solveig, please share your story.
Great. Well, this is an unscripted story, but it's a reflection on the River's Lament, which we offered on Saturday. And yeah, I mean, there's so many things I could share, and I hope that more comes out from all of us who were able to participate on Saturday. But I just want to share one thing that's just been stirring in me. Um, so as we were walking, one of the staff people, the librarian, um, said to a couple of us, and maybe a number of us, um, "Gosh, we have now developed the whole lower campus, and so would you consider extending the lament down into the lower campus as opposed to just the upper campus?" And that was in the sort of the broader context of we wrote this 15 years ago. So what has changed? So what has changed? And are we called to adapt or expand or change or shift this experience because of what has changed over the last 15 years? So part of me was amazed that for 15 years, this has been a powerful experience and it's got staying power, which means we don't have to change it. Like there's something very powerful here. And yet her question made me, just made me ponder like, well, actually the campus has changed. Like, is that an invitation to change it? I'm not super inclined to do that at the moment, just because logistically, like how that would work. But nonetheless, like there are possibilities. And in fact, Robin and Shombe were talking afterwards and sort of imagining about internships and getting students involved, and how would they adapt the lament for today, and right. So lots of possibilities. But one other piece that really stirred this conversation in my own heart and mind was an email that we got from one of the participants afterwards. And I think it just came to the office at Eve Faith Recovery, and then Kristen forwarded it to me. Anyway, he was he what he said was, I won't read all of it, I'll just read a couple of portions. He said, "I was surprised by my response to Solveig's wholehearted greeting and question, 'Are you here for the lament?'" So he had an internal response about that. He says, "Having spent 7 decades engaged with the Willamette as an environmental historian and citizen, I completely accept that in studying human treatment of the river, there is so much to lament. And I also feel that there is so much to celebrate in its resilient beauty and continuing source of life, beauty, and wonder." Then he says, "Silly me, my religious upbringing is so poor that I didn't come knowing it is Lent and that lamentation is a part of that heritage and religious culture. When accepting the invitation to listen to the river's cries, I could not ignore my awareness that the river is simultaneously singing and sharing gifts. I now see the religious context that I was missing. Saturday's experience left me wrestling with many good questions, including, how do we best balance the need to lament, acknowledge, and grieve with the opportunity to heal, change, and celebrate and find joy, even in degraded places? So that has really, it's gotten me just thinking and reflecting about that. And I have a part of me that is so aware of the American tendency to avoid grief and avoid pain, and to move so quickly into, okay, let's do something, or let's look at the bright side or whatever. I'm so aware of that, that a part of me resists, like, no, we get to just be in lament in this experience. Stop it. And I'm also really aware that we wrote this in 2011. This was before like Bill McKibben's Do the Math tour, right? I mean, so it is a different reality today for so many reasons. And I think what I know a lot of us have been really aware of is what's happening very organically and authentically is the insistence on joy as resistance in so many places. So it does make me just wonder and reflect on um, lament and joy. And is there a deeper joy that the river might be inviting us to tap into, even as we hold the lament? I do not have an answer to that question, but that's my story.